Yay Media Group.
Welcome to My Safe Word is More with your hosts from Survivor, An Amazing Race, and Back on Dry Land, Corinne Kaplan, TV star, stand-up comedian Al Jackson. I'm your producer, Chris Clark, and this is My Safe Word is More.
Yay!
Yes, thank you, Chris. I bullied him into giving me an intro.
Star. Yeah,
so I appreciate you. Welcome back, Chris, man. Shout out to your family. How's mom?
Mom's good. She turned 101 day before yesterday.
Good. Think about all the things she's seen.
Enough about her.
Okay.
I have returned triumphantly from my family cruise.
Yay! We missed you.
Thank you. It's the longest I think that I have gone without seeing you specifically in like 2 years because we really don't go more than a week without seeing each other.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do feel...
We're like a marriage in its 16th year where we're together but no sex.
Yes. I feel sort of like an astronaut. Like, despite the fact that this cruise was 8 days, it genuinely feels like I have been gone for a year.
I don't know how you did it, Doug.
We're going to get into all of that.
Okay.
So everyone listening, here's the deal. I'm going tits to taint on the cruise today. It's probably going to bleed into a second episode. So buckle
up. Is that the
up.
taint part?
Yeah.
Okay.
There is some taint information I have for you that's unrelated to the cruise. So we're just going to go real. We're just going to get real deep into what happened. And for those of you that are not familiar, if you're a new listener, I went on a cruise for my parents' 50th wedding anniversary.
Yay.
This cruise has been booked for like 2 years.
Mom started packing
a year ago. And
that's not a joke.
No. And I just, there was a lot that went into this. And so let's start with that, like the preparatory part. So the night before I'm to leave, my father, who hasn't been super involved in the ins and outs of, my mother, did you get the medallion? They're sending you a medallion.
What is a medallion?
We'll get to that. You have to have it at all times on the ship. It's like this electronic thing that you wear that gets you in and everywhere. And like, you can't, like, literally, you cannot not have your medallion on you at all times.
Is this a nightclub in Miami? All right.
There was a nightclub on board, which we will get to. So my mom was really like, she bought sunscreen for everyone so we didn't have to travel with it. Like, she made goodie bags for us. Like, my father the night before sends this message because I just want to give you an idea of what kind of vibe it is when you are vacationing with your Jewish anxious parents. Corinne, do not bring any valuable jewelry on our cruise. There is no
We are going to islands with black people.
There is no safe place to store it on the ship, and you don't want to walk around a third world poverty-stricken country wearing valuable jewelry. The jewelry can be stolen, and even worse, you will be attacked.
Wow.
And I'm like, there's a safe on board. And this is it's very expensive cruise. Like, I don't really feel like, are we not trusting this in-room safe? And also, I'm somebody...
Was he worried about you wearing a chain, like, when you get off for the island excursion?
He was concerned. He was like, he called, there was a follow-up phone call, because obviously that text, I didn't respond fast enough, and he was worried.
Have they gotten you already? Those damn Jamaicans.
Like, you don't bring your Louis Vuitton, you don't bring your Gucci, you don't bring your diamonds. And he's like, I already had mom take everything out of her luggage. And my mother brought, when I tell you, no offense, mom, she brought like a purse she got in the Bahamas 30 years ago that was made with like chewing gum wrappers. Like, I'm talking, my mother looked like she belonged in one of these countries. Her jewelry was like repurposed seashells. My mother has dripping in diamonds at all times. And this woman is wearing like a fucking friendship bracelet and like...
Yeah, your mom looks like Kodak Black going to court. It's like, no, I'm not a rich black man.
It's just like, I don't know why we're doing this. So that's what kicks the cruise off. Now, the other thing that my father was very involved in, two other things. One is the shirt that I'm wearing. If you cannot see me, it's because you are not subscribing to our YouTube, My Safe Word is More.
Yes, but if you've seen Tom Cruise in Cocktail,
yes,
it's the same outfit.
The shirt. So my father bought this shirt from Costco for all of us and then presented it the morning of the cruise, which fucked me up a little because I had exactly the amount of outfits and luggage that I could hold. And then there was like a wrench in the works. We all had to wear this shirt. And so if you are watching on video, this is where, Riley, I'll have you put up the 4 of us in matching Hawaiian shirts.
But you were packed so tight that one shirt
could throw me over. Yeah. Yeah, I was. I had to throw away. I was bringing my own snacks on the cruise, which is also weird. But I was afraid that there wouldn't be. I like to have corn nuts when I drink sometimes.
What are you, a 70-year-old Mets fan? What are you eating corn nuts for?
There's a elote corn flavor and a dill pickle flavor, and I brought those. And I couldn't bring them because of the shirt. I had no room. I had to take them out. So I had to forsake my corn nuts for this fucking shirt. Anyways, we wanted to have the Bon Voyage, the cruise, if I haven't said this already, 4,500 people. It is a sold out cruise. 4,500 people. Remember that. We board in our matching shirts, and absolutely everyone has something to say. And we're in these shirts, all day. The cruise, the boarding time, you can't get on the ship. The boarding time is 11. Well, my mom has a friend who went a month ago, and you could actually get on the ship earlier. So did we get there at 11? No, we got there at 9:30.
Oh, no.
Because we had to be the first people on the ship.
Did you get on early?
Uh-huh.
As somebody that worked for the cruise lines, I was about to say,
annoying.
You can't get on early, and we hate you.
Yes.
Because we're trying to mentally prepare for another pack of disgusting Americans to come slogging on the boat. And it's like 9:41 and you're like in a t-shirt and you just see like a Joy coming on the boat and you're like, I'm not ready for this yet.
They were still testing the alarm. The ship itself is only like a month or 2 old. It's a brand new ship. So they were still testing stuff and like painting things. And my mother and father are making me board this fucking ship. So
they're like, don't step there, we'll sink.
Yeah. So we board, and then of course everyone is like, oh my God, this is so cute. And my father is the exact same joke he has run back every single time. He goes, it's funny, we don't even know each other.
He's like a comic from the 80s.
Yeah.
He's got a set and he does it.
Yes. So the other thing that was really important to my father, which you wouldn't know it by the matching shirts, is he had said to me, I can't even count how many times. You're really going to have to work to let everyone know that that's your brother and not your husband.
What?
He said this over and over and over again. He was like, it's going to be a problem because everyone's going to think you and Chad are a couple. And I was like, or we look exactly like brother, sister, and we're with our parents and we're wearing matching Hawaiian shirts. Like, perhaps we're brother, sister. And my father's like, out of the question. You're going to have to, everywhere you go, hi, I'm Corinne. This is my brother. Like, he was so worried about this.
Why? Who would even think that? I'd be like, there's 4 people that I'm definitely going to beat up later because of their shirts. I wouldn't be thinking about the familial relationships.
Well, he was really, really fucking concerned about it. In fact, we had to take 17,000 family portraits on the ship, and every family portrait, before the guy was going to snap the picture, he's like, they're brother, sister. Like, because the concern is somehow they're going to be like, okay, kiss him on the lips during this photo. Like, I don't know what the
kind of boudoir photo session are you guys in?
I don't know why it was such a big concern. But I'm going to throw in just one quick go naked because it's relevant. And I have been sitting on this for a minute and I need to get it off my chest. This will be the only go naked this episode, but it's pertinent. So this person wrote in, later in life, I have a friend who met up with her cousin she hasn't seen in over 30 years. They met for coffee and had great conversation. She is single, so is he. They began talking regularly and it turned into love. They enjoy each other's company and they have been intimate. They are way past reproductive years and they're asking, is this okay for us to be together? My friend asked me what I thought and I said I didn't see anything wrong with it. Is this okay for most later in life couples to be together? No.
It's gross.
You're still cousins. The cousin thing doesn't expire because your eggs did.
Yeah, and also family functions. That's unless you are a family that's like, hey, you're not the first cousin fuckers that we've had here. Unless you come from that kind of family, like Rudy Giuliani married his first cousin.
He did not.
He did. Chris, you can verify that, but I'm 99.999% sure.
Why are we not all shaming him? Did he not know?
No, they talked about it on John Oliver. Yes.
Oh my God.
Marrying your friend. Look, I've said this.
And they had kids?
I don't think so. I think he was older at that point. But I think he goes, we didn't know until after we got married. But the thing, it's just like, I think that this is more common than we might think. Because let's say, like, we're in Denver, big city, 4 or 5 major sports teams. Big concerts come through here. There's lots of people to go through on the apps. If you live in a town of 2,300 people and the next town over has got 15, half of them are old people, half of them are babies. So all the dating ages are kind of the same people that maybe just moved 10, 12 miles. So you're going to run into a cousin.
Well, so are you saying it's okay? Because we have a patron, a very long-standing, I will not say your name, you know who you are. I like her very much. She has been a patron of mine for years. She wrote in because she is also part of Go Naked, as is everyone now that listens to my podcast. And she said, my highly unpopular opinion is I don't think this is morally wrong like so many people in the group do. They're not reproducing, and that would obviously be an issue. They are consenting adults. I don't see anything wrong with this. Live and let live, my people.
I'm a little bit on board with that, I got to tell you. I mean,
Really?
and here's why. It depends how old they are, right? If they're like late 70s, 80s, let these people, and they found love, let them be happy.
Yeah,
they only have a few years left, let them be happy.
Chris,
come on. By the way, it also, another thing that matters is like what level of cousin?
Yeah, I know, they didn't say that.
Is it first cousin? First of all, Rudy Giuliani, allegedly, I guess, he married the daughter of his father's first cousin, making her his second cousin once removed.
All right. Well, fine, I'll give you a pass. But we live in a society, okay? You're not allowed to fuck children. You're not allowed to fuck animals. And you're not supposed to fuck your fucking cousin or your brother. So back to the story at hand.
Oh, well, that was quite the list. Wow. I can see you telling your kid that before they go to college. Jesus
There's just
Christ.
A few rules
Words
that
to
we have
live
to live by.
I mean,
God.
I go back. Chris swayed me slightly. Yes, go live your life. No one's going to stop you. But for me, I would not be able to look. I would look at this person's face and be like, you have my aunt's nose.
Yeah.
Like there's a familiarity that like makes you not be able to reproduce with yourself. I don't know. I can't.
My friend, we'll leave her nameless. She met a guy at a wedding that she was at, and she was so excited. And she tells me, she goes, da 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 da. I nicknamed him Uncle Steve. We're gonna call him Uncle Steve. And I said, oh, why? And she's like, well, technically he's my uncle. And I was like, what the fuck you just say to me? She's like, well, it's my stepmother's brother. And I was like, yeah, still. And she goes, well, he comes from a very good family. And I said, yes, yours.
Stepmother, though, that's not the same blood.
Well, she did date him and almost got engaged to him. And it tanked very badly. And now family functions are very awkward.
See, that's
we have to take a break. But when we come back, I'm going to tell you about the singles I met on the cruise.
Ooh, I didn't know you met somebody.
All right. So we get every morning or every evening before you go to bed, they place the patter. And it is the rundown of what's happening on the ship the next day.
I would blow my head off. That sucks so bad.
I want to explain that I love my parents and I love that they spent the money and we had this time together.
Too.
I really do not like cruising. Trust me, Al, we are not that different.
Yes.
And I thought of you because when I first got on the ship, I had an espresso martini, and I thought, this is great. And then, time goes on and you're like, I've had 7 espresso martinis today and I'm still on this ship. And
yes.
So we'll get to all of this. While I'm on the espresso martini kick, so my father told me we had the highest possible drink package, which was 15 drinks a day. I think on a previous episode I said 14. It was 15. And he said,
there's not even a box for that on your doctor's chart.
Right.
15 drinks a day.
Well, here's the thing. Well,
it's not enough.
So I didn't think it was. So here's what happened. I go to the bar, very, very first bar. It's 9:30 in the morning. This ship is not even supposed to see me till 11. I'm already harassing the bar. So I'm like, what am I going to get? I'm going to get an espresso martini. And they said, would you like to upgrade to the unlimited package? And oh boy, do I shoot my father a death stare. I was like, was there an unlimited package? My father goes, no, I got the most expensive package. And they were like, well, once you're on the ship, before we leave port, you can upgrade for this small window of opportunity.
A bullshit rule.
You can upgrade. And I was like holding a knife to my father's throat. I was like, we're upgrading. And he goes, you don't think 15 drinks is enough? I go, they're counting a martini as 2 drinks because there's an extra shot in it. They're counting the coffee and the espresso. No, we need more drinks. So I get my father to upgrade all of us to the unlimited package.
Do you realize you're having a drunken fight before the boat has left?
Yes.
Okay.
And let me tell you, okay, just know that no one's making any money off me at an open bar. Okay, I'm having an espresso martini. I've also ordered the pina colada with a rum floater that I have 2 sips of and throw it out. Then I got a dirty monkey because I just wanted to try that. They make this in a blender. It takes them fucking 5 whole minutes to make this drink. They put a banana in it.
Oh.
I take 2 sips of that. I leave it on the fucking deck. Someone cleans it up. I was an absolute raging lunatic the second I knew I could have whatever I wanted. I could have the most expensive top shelf alcohol And like, just, it didn't matter. Like nothing mattered.
You're just like a drunken Hansel and Gretel, just leaving half drink clues to follow you.
I mean, I was also, so the medallion, getting a little bit more into that. So the medallion, they give it to you on a lanyard, but you can pay to upgrade to get it in like an Apple Watch situation.
What?
So of course I make my parents take me to the jewelry store on board, and I get like a rubber watch thing that it goes in. And they're like, you cannot take this off except to shower. It gets you everywhere. It gets you in your cabin. And it's very smart technology. As soon as I get close to my door opens. Like, and I have the unlimited, also comes with unlimited service. So at 1 a.m., I could be anywhere in the ship and go, I want a grilled cheese sandwich. I wouldn't do that. And then I just hit a button on the app, and then Gerson comes with a grilled cheese sandwich.
How do they find you? Have to be in your room?
It's geolocated.
Shut up.
The worst part is, because of this, you add each other, like we're shipmates. Like my brother and I are shipmates. I can go into locate Chad at any point in time and see where he is on the ship. So we call it God view. So I met a girl I liked that was cool. And I was like, you wanna? And she's like, sure. So I was like, where's Alina? Oh, God view. Oh, she's in the casino. Let's go to the casino. Like, it's full tracking.
I hate that.
It's terrible. Well, it's all fun and games until like your mom keeps popping up and you're like, ah.
Yeah.
So
I keep saying Corinne is in this broom closet.
So my brother and I decide we're going to go for the single and solo travelers happy hour. We see it in the patter, and I am so excited. Because I'm looking at pure stats here. And I started to say this on the last podcast, but when I listened back, I realized I lost my train of thought and didn't finish. I was trying to manifest. I said, I don't believe in manifesting. But if I did believe in it, I'm manifesting finding my husband on the ship.
Don't you practice witchcraft?
Yeah, that's not manifesting. That's controlling.
You drew a picture of the guy you wanted.
Yeah, right. Well, I cast a spell.
Okay.
It didn't work. Anyway, so I'm like 4,500 people. There's got to be one motherfucker on this ship, right? One. All right, so we go to single and solo travelers happy hour, first night. And I am dressed. By the way, my mom was like, it's smart casual every night except 2 formal nights. I went super formal for every night.
So what are you wearing?
In the first night, it's a cropped, it's dressier than it sounds. It's like a cropped sweater and a cropped mini skirt that go together.
Okay.
I have pictures of all this because we took a million family portraits. So we'll throw all of this on the Instagram. So anyways, I'm excited. My brother's excited. And of course, my father's like, make sure, and I know.
Right.
We'll tell him.
Yeah, you had
I got it.
a t-shirt with the finger that said not fucking.
We're walking in. I start to trip. He like won't grab my hand to help me, you know?
He steps over you.
Yeah.
Told you we weren't fucking.
So we sit like as far apart at this table. And this very nice waiter comes over. His name was Juan. He comes over and he's like, what can I get you to drink? I was like, what's the most expensive whiskey that you have? Whatever, I get that. And then I also get the mezcal. And then I also get like one of the palomas. Like I was ordering like several drinks.
How many drinks had you had walking
56.
in there? Like at that point.
So many. But there's something that goes on with me on vacation. Does anyone else write into my safewordismoreadvice@gmail.com? It's like you can't get drunk on vacation. Has that happened to anyone else? Like I cannot catch a buzz, but I also don't get hungover.
That's what
I am able to
everybody
get
says.
drunk on vacation.
You are?
Yeah.
I
Yes.
cannot get drunk on vacation. Lord, did I try. So we're at this single and solo thing, and Juan comes over and he gets the drinks, and he goes, I said, we're here for the singles thing. And he goes, oh, no, not good. And I said, where is it? And he just points, and around the corner, there's a grease board sitting on a table. And this is like a high-end, like nice-looking bar, like upscale, beautiful, like windows, and I'm like, it's a really cute, I don't know, fancy. It's a fancy bar. It's not like a pub. But there was like an alcove, and then he goes, they're over there. So I said, all right, like I'm gonna get up and look. And so I get up and I'm like, holy shit, I didn't realize this is what was gonna happen. It's about 10 women in their 70s.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
That's it. No men, just women in their 70s, which freaked my brother out. But I was like, I guess that's what happened.
Was he freaked out because he was like, how am I going to get through all 10?
He's like, I guess I'm going to fuck my sister.
Yeah. Shout out to the geriatric chain. They can get it too.
And so like, I was like so upset. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean it's just old people? What do you mean? And why are they all, I mean, I counted of the 10, 3 of them had glucose monitors on.
No, they did not.
Yes, they did. All cotton tops. All. And so I was just like, this is so sad. And this is probably my future. Like, I found it so fucking depressing. We end up staying.
Wait, did you think there was going to be this like young hip scene?
I thought there'd be a
like
handful.
the East Village in the early 80s?
I thought there'd be a handful of people that were solo traveling. It turns out cruises are really exclusively for elderly people and families.
No
There's, like,
shit.
no
That's
in
all
between.
they're for.
Yeah, well, this was news to me.
Wow.
I don't know.
What?
It was really upsetting, you guys. So I stayed after the single and solo traveler happy hour. Then there was an LGBTQ happy hour. And I was like, well, might as well roll into that. Maybe there's some good gays I could meet.
Right.
No.
Was it any more full? Like,
No, there was like one gay couple that showed up and they were 80 and there were two men. I mean, it was, I was like, this is going to be a whole, one of them had hearing aids and like, I don't need to befriend this couple.
right.
I love a gay, but like this wasn't really my vibe. So I was like, okay, we're gonna like need to like refocus, re-strategize. Like,
Where's that waiter?
right. So I go, well, so okay. So I said to Juan, so my brother goes, Juan, how you gonna do me like that? Like Juan made it seem like around the corner is the singles, and then we round the corner and it's all these elderly people. And Mom is like, it's very sad, yes? And I said, yes, very sad. So I'm like, all right, pivot. Where's the talent on the ship? So first I go through and Google and then reverse on Instagram, find each of the comedians that are listed in the patter. No, that's a hard pass on that.
Who are the comics? Do you remember?
No. And I said to my brother, I was like, we could ask Al because they were older. They had been doing this.
Yeah.
This is all they do and they've been doing this.
I have friends that have been doing comedy on cruise ships for like 30 years.
Mhm.
And so that means that they've spent the bulk of the last 3 decades in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
Yes.
Like it's crazy.
It's very depressing. This whole thing was very depressing. Okay. So I decide that the pivot is going to be that we're going to see the musical acts and we're going to find somebody that's reasonably make-outable in there. So after this break, I will tell you.
Oh, damn. I'm on the edge of my seat
I will
here.
tell you what we found out. All right. So there were only 2 musical acts that were like reasonable, and they both were playing at this Irish pub. The Irish pub was by far the coolest place to be, even though this ship had probably 10 bars, multiple fine dining. Like this, there was a lot. It was just the Irish pub was like the only thing that seemed like
What were the bar
decent.
themes?
They were really just like upscale, and one of them did like cocktail making classes. One of them was like a wine bar.
Yeah. They should have a dive bar on board. Like
Well,
if they're making fake themes for everything.
Yes, so that's what the Irish pub was. Like I had unlimited everything, so I could be like, I'll have onion rings and a cheeseburger, and then I could just fucking throw it on the floor.
That's it's what people think Americans do all day. I order food, I throw it.
Yeah. Oh, I was a real cunt. I was like, I'll take a botanist gin martini with a lemon twist, and then I get it and be like, take the lemon out of it. I'd like a botanist martini. Like I would just.
What is a botanist martini?
I like botanist gin, and they had botanist gin.
Oh, okay.
So my father at one point, it was bothering him. He's like, you're being so wasteful. And I was
Yeah,
like,
you're like Khaleesi from Game of Thrones at the bar.
I just felt like,
Have him killed.
we paid X amount for this cruise. I'm amortizing, right? Like
Yeah.
the more stuff I accrue.
Were there any bartenders where you're like, I could bang him?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm getting to. So sorry, I digress.
I know my girl.
Yeah. So there was only two musical acts at this Irish pub. One, and I don't know if this is going to go over all your heads, but this cracked my brother and I up so fucking hard. So the first one we go see, it's a trio, and it's a girl. She plays the violin. She's probably like 21, 22. There's 2 boys. One is a flautist, exclusively playing the flute, and the other one is the singer. All right?
Okay.
Okay.
So the guy's the singer.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
all right.
there's a guy that's a flautist,
Okay.
a guy that's a singer, and then a woman who plays the violin. And they're all like cute and younger, but the girl was like the youngest. She seemed really innocent to me. I mean, she's playing a violin and she's wearing like a sweet little Irish dress.
You sound like you want to take that from her.
It's
See you in a couple hours. I hope you hook on drugs in 2 weeks.
I have a few drinks, and I'm not going to say the name because they have like, I don't know, 8 followers on Instagram. but I renamed them Airtight. Do you know what Airtight is?
No. A queef?
I didn't know what it was either, by the way.
Oh.
Oh, God.
She has cracked. She is. What is air? Is that a joke on air supply?
Let me gather myself. Okay. It's when a woman has all of her holes plugged up.
Okay.
So I decided.
I love that. I actually love that.
But there's only two guys.
Right, but there's a flute.
She was on Survivor. Use all your tools, Chris.
I was obsessed with Airtight.
That's actually like really good.
It
I
was
love that.
Such a good joke. And so, like, I made my brother go to they teach you how to play spoons. It's an Irish thing. I was laughing like this. I couldn't keep it together because I'm just like, he stuck that flute deep in her pussy last night.
Oh, God.
I was so bored on this fucking cruise.
This is day one?
So obviously I'm obsessed with them. There was another guy that sang acoustic guitar and he was cute. I was like, there's my mark. So after he's done with his set, I'm like, hey, can I buy you a drink? Because I'm just throwing them on the ground anyway.
I was going to pour this one on the waiter's head so you can have it.
He goes, I'll take a red wine or a Lagunitas. I go, you're going to get both. How about that? Moneybags over here is getting you both.
Yeah.
So he has a couple drinks with me, and I think I am getting somewhere. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I've laid some groundwork. I'm like, okay, I'll see you.
What was his backstory?
Tomorrow. He's from London. We added each other on Instagram. That's about all I got. He was a very good singer. I liked his music a lot. I could live without the Airtight. Their flouting was a lot. But
do you think they were fucking? Did you sexual tension?
No. Well, I was concerned. Like my brother's like, it's all Fleetwood Mac. Like everyone's fucking everybody. Yeah. So I was hoping the acoustic guitar guy wasn't fucking anybody because I was interested. So I am like putting in groundwork here. I buy him a few drinks. I think everything's going swimmingly. Like we've added each other on Instagram. I figure I've got 7 more nights here. Like I will see him tomorrow night. So I show up the next night and he's sort of acting like he doesn't know me. And I was like, what's happening here? Turns out, and he had told me from what he had told me, he is below the guy who plays the piano.
Okay.
Because he plays a guitar, not a piano, but he's allowed to fraternize with the guests.
Yes.
But there is a stopping point to that.
Yes.
And so one of my friends went on a tour, a behind the scenes tour, which if I had seen this on the patter, I would have done. And she just kept asking questions about the help, like literally for me. And so she's like, what happens if you have sex with somebody on the ship that works here? And they were like, oh, if there are cameras everywhere, if we see you hold hands with somebody who is a patron on the ship, immediately you are like choppered off the ship if we're at sea. Like you are fired.
You are super fired. And like when I was working on cruise ships, they referred to like the customers as cones because like you avoid the cones.
Yeah.
Because like you'll get so fired that it's not worth it. Yeah, so like you'll be like, oh, that cone over there in that shirt, she's cute. But like they call customers cones when I did because it's super fired.
Yeah, and then also blackballed from like your only job in the cruise ship industry, right? Like once you get fired from one cruise ship for getting a blowjob from a patron.
Right. And also this is like
that goes on your permanent record, I think.
This is your permanent record. This is a 5th grade. No, the thing is they sign like 9, 10, 11-month contracts.
Yeah.
So a lot of these people from like the Eastern blocks are like Serbia and shit like that. So like if you get fired in February, you just going back home with nothing lined up, dog. Probably not a place. I mean, this is like this is their life.
Yeah, so as it turns out, despite my best efforts, I will tell you, he's liking all my shit on Instagram now that I'm off the ship.
Wow. Well, you can bang him on a Sunday. Most ships dock on Sundays.
Oh.
So that's when all the staff gets off and they'll go to like CVS, get whatever they need and get their stuff to deal with another cruise for another week. But like Sundays, if you got a hotel, you could bang him and then return him to the ship.
Oh. Well, he was ship hot.
Yeah.
I don't need him in real life.
Yeah, and there's also a way to bang customers if you want to know. You can bang a customer. Their cameras, right?
Yeah, but the medallion thing was fucking me up. Like, how do you get below deck with your medallion? They track you every time.
What you have to do
Throw that
is
shit.
no, it's not. They didn't have medallions, so that might have jammed me up. But what you do is the elevator. It goes to all the floors, but deck 0 is where the staff is.
Yeah.
So at like 11:30 on the Saturday night, everybody from the staff is wasted.
Yeah.
Everybody, and all the captains are asleep. So what you can do is there's like a little bit of a window when the elevator comes down. They can still be on board with you because everybody's kind of dressed casual because the people are going to a nightclub to work there, so you can't really tell who works there. And so if they just walk like 10 feet behind you and just act like they belong, when you make a left, they wait like 10 seconds and then they make a left and then you just leave your door cracked and they just walk right in.
Oh,
so,
interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure cameras can jam you up now because I'm sure there's like some square, like, why are there 2 people in that room? But back in, 2009, no one cared.
Well, anyways, I did manifest a husband on the ship, but you're going to have to wait till next week to hear that because this is a 2-parter.
Yeah.
Chris, final thoughts, please.
I just want to encourage everyone to tune into part 2 of this episode of Corinne's cruise. It's even weirder than what you've already heard. Please tune in.
Weirder than airtight.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Corinne, that's why people listen to this ridiculous podcast. They love us. And they love this podcast, not because it's a podcast about life.
Well, it's a podcast about unlimited drinks.
Medallion status.
Medallion status, bitches.
Love y'all.